Sup nerds, you guys want to see a dead body? Today we have Rosemon X versus Melga. Brandon starts us off by hatching Sunamon, evoing to Gabu X and then hard playing Gabu X. Scorching and only adding one card, still has to discard a card. Discards Full Moon. Chris hatches Coco, evos into Pal. Evos in Pal X. Evos into Togemon for 2. Plays Mimi, Scorches top 3. Adds the Rosemon. Brandon swang on him, survives. Evos into Garu for 2 and raising, and then Evos into Where Garu. Lots of one-ofs popping up, Brandon. Nice shuffling. Alright, so Chris promotes. Evos into Toga X for 0, stuns the Gabu X. That does blow the Palmon inheritable of reducing it by 1, unfortunately. So Evos into Lily for 2, suspends, well, it's already suspended, then bot decks the Gabu X. Then Evos into Rosemon for 3. Alright, Brandon plays Mental Training. Scorches a Garu. Reveals a Full Moon from hand. Then plays it. Puts Rosemon back to hand, gains 3 from Ace Overflow, and then gains 2 more memory from Chris having 8 cards in his hand. He hatches, plays Agility Training, Scorches a Lala. Evos in a Lala. Makes sense. And Evos in a Togemon to choke Brandon to 1. Alright, Brandon Evos into Where X for 1. And plays another Mental Training as the Garu X. Alright, and Chris promotes. If he can establish a Rose X here, it'd actually be very good. I don't think he can, though. Chris is running the numbers, seeing if he can do it. Evos into Lilamon for 2. Triggers her effect, plays Yoshino. So now he has another reduction from the Togemon inheritable. So I guess he can establish. Nope. That is more than that. I think he does catch it here. So the Toga reduces it by 1. Yeah, so he has to pop the training. So that would be for 0, and then the Yoshino would gain a memory back. Math is hard. Brandon's mistake was evoing into Where X and raising. So Chris does evo into Rose X. And then Agility Trainings. Scorches top 2, adds Toga X. Because that's one of the best ways Brandon has to unsuspend once a Rose X is established on Chris's field. So he needs removal immediately. So he promotes, it suspends itself from Rose X's effect. He pops the Mental, evos into Melga for 3, stuns Chris's whole board. It can't suspend until the end of his turn. Pops the other boost. Okay, he had it anyway. It must be nice to have the nuts. Evos into Melga X for 0, unsuspends, bounces Rose X back to hand. Swings, draws from Garu, and then triggers Where X's effect, trash a card and unsuspend. Survives. It does get 1000 DP from the Sunamon. Plays Matt, Scorches top 3. And then Chris hatches. Yoshino should unsuspend here. So Brandon must have already had the Melga X in his hand, because he knows from playtesting to not waste that Where Garu X unsuspend against a Rose X. So Chris evos into Lalamon. Evos into Togemon. Evos into Toga X. And evos into Lila to set Brandon to 2. Brandon hatches Bukamon. Evos into Gabu. Alright, so Brandon swings on him. Draws from the Garu inheritable. That'll trigger Sunamon plus 1000. Triggers Where X is inheritable. Trashes a card to unsuspend. Triggers Matt to gain a memory. And then it's 2 checks. The first check is a Mimi. Here's a Chet that does have an on-play Chris. You should be searching the top 3. I think Chris doesn't do it because he assumes he's just going to die on this turn. And then the second check goes through to Yoshino. And then swings again. Survives. Evos into Garu and raising. Obviously he's looking for the Blitz Omni that he doesn't already have. Evos into Garu X for 0. Lots of one-ups, Brandon. Then Evos into Where, and then Chris goes to 3. Alright, so Chris promotes. Gets to reduce by 2 memories, so Evos for 1. Gains 2 memory back from Yoshino. Nothing else happens. Can't suspend any of Brandon's stuff, so Rosemon doesn't do anything. Evo's in a Rose X. Stuns both. So Melga X and Matashita cannot unsuspend until the end of Brandon's turn. He does have a Quartz here, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do anything about that guy coming out of raising. He also can't swing over the Melga X, which I don't think really would matter, because he's only 13k, the Rose X is, and so he would crash with the Melga X that's 13k because of the Sunamon. Right here, Brandon is like, I am also 13. So Chris is like, unfortunate. And this is why Kokomon is a bad Tama for Rose X. Alright, and then Chris plays a Yoshino for 4. Chokes Brandon to 1. Brandon promotes, it gets suspended, and he reveals the Aware X, which unsuspends, and he swings for game. So Melga does take game 1. By the way, if you guys enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And if you're interested in the Rosemon X deck profile, link will be in the pinned comment below. And if you're interested in the Melga deck profile, link will be in the pinned comment below as well. Alright, so Chris makes Brandon go first for game 2. Brandon hatches Sunamon. Evo's in a Gabu. Plays Mental. Skirches. Almost reveals too many cards. Actually does, but whatever. Chris hatches. Evo's in a Pal. Evo's in a Pal X. Then plays Yoshino to pass turn. Brandon stays in raising. Evo's in a Garu. Then plays Gabu. Skirches top 3. Adds the Wear. Alright, Chris promotes. Evo's into Toga X for 1 memory. Yeah. Makes the Gabumon unable to unsuspend until the end of Brandon's turn. Taps Yoshino, gains memory. Evo's into Lila for 3. Triggers Lila's effect, plays Yoshino, gains memory back from Palmon X's inheritable. No Megas in Chris's hand, unfortunately. And he just hard passes. Alright, so Brandon promotes. Evo's in a Garu X for 0. Evo's in a Gabu X for 0. Skirches top 4. Max value. Does need to trash a card. Okay. Sunamon triggers, so that stack on the bottom is plus 1,000 until the end of Chris's turn. Getting a hair off the mat, I see. Alright, Evo's in Aware for 3. Swing on him, draw. Triggers effect. Trashes a card to unsuspend. Has to trigger the Garu X, detach 2 sources to protect itself since it would die to the Rosemon. Pops Mental. Evo's into Melga for 2 and stuns Chris's entire board. Nothing can suspend until the end of Chris's turn. Alright, Chris hatches. Evo's in a Pal. Evo's in a Pal X. Evo's in a Togemon for 2. Still no Megas. Sag. And plays another Yoshino. And we have a Chet here. He should actually gain a memory from the Palmon inheritable to set Brandon to 2. Let's see if that matters. Brandon hatches. Evo's in a Gabumon. Swing on him. 2k. Dies. Swing on him. Unsuspend from Melga's effect. 1 check at 12k. Survives. Swing on him again. Survives. Evo's into Melga X for 1. Unsuspends. Bounces the Lila back to hand. Swings. And then Blitz Omnis for game. So Melga does take it 2-0. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.